You're watching WWAY News at 11.
Guys, something's going on.
From celebration to chaos, shots ring out following a parade to celebrate the Kansas City Chiefs and their Super Bowl win. How many people were hurt? Plus, a diehard Chiefs fan from Brunswick County traveled all the way to Kansas City for today's parade. He tells us what it was like when shots rang out. And a Wilmington man who made history in the world of tennis will soon be laid to rest when you can go pay your respects to Lenny Simpson. Thanks for joining us tonight for WWAY News at 11. I'm Jeff Rivenbark. Tonight, authorities say at least 8 children are among 22 people who were hit by gunfire in a shooting at the end of the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl victory parade. Police say one person was killed in the shooting. Radio station KKFI says its DJ, Lisa Lopez, died. Video shows police running through a crowded scene as people in attendance hurriedly scrambled for cover. Kansas City Police Chief Stacey Graves says 3 people have been detained for investigation.
I'm angry at what happened today. The people who came to this celebration should expect a safe environment. We had over 800 law enforcement officers, Kansas City and other agencies, at the location to keep everyone safe.
Law enforcement sources tell CBS News there is no evidence the shooting was an act of terrorism. A Chiefs official says players and coaches were on buses and returning to Arrowhead Stadium when the shooting occurred. Hundreds of thousands of people from all over the country in Kansas City today for that parade, including one Brunswick County man. WWAY Sydney Bushell spoke with him this afternoon just after the shooting. Sydney, first of all, is he okay?
Yes, Jeff. Fortunately, the man I spoke with is okay, and so were all of the members of his family who were with him.
And everybody hit the deck. I mean, I've never seen anybody in a bar, packed bar, everybody's celebrating, watching on monitors. Everybody drops to the floor.
David Johnson, one of an estimated 1 million people in Kansas City, celebrating the Chiefs' Super Bowl win.
Just the worst way to end a day of celebration. You know, we were expecting to have more good times. We were getting some famous Kansas City barbecue and enjoying ourselves. And the next thing you know, my cousins step out and people are rushing the other way. Machine guns are going down the street.
Originally from Kansas City, now living in Leland, Johnson went back to his hometown to enjoy the victory parade with family. They were walking towards Union Station when Johnson felt like they should turn around. They stopped in to get a bite to eat about a block away from the station when the shooting happened.
It's senseless and unnecessary, especially in an environment where you have so many people coming together and loving on one another and being kind and generous. And that's the disappointment, because that's what Kansas City is about. That's what the heartland of America is about. It's about people loving one another, coming together, and having community. And people coming in and disrupting that, it's not what Kansas City's about. So let that not be a record of this event.
While Kansas City may be hurting today, Johnson knows his hometown will come together and get through it together.
The Kansas City Police Department has established a tip line solely dedicated to gaining information about the shooting. 3 people are in custody and the investigation is ongoing. Jeff.
Thank you, Sydney. 4 students at an Atlanta school were injured today in a shooting. Police say those shots came from a vehicle in a parking lot at Benjamin E. Mays High School. The 4 students struck by gunfire were taken to the hospital with injuries described as non-life-threatening. No other students, faculty, or staff were injured, according to Atlanta Public Schools. The shots rang out just after dismissal. 3 people have been detained in connection to the shooting. And today is the 6-year anniversary of the mass shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Broward County Public Schools honored the 17 people who lost their lives on this day in 2018 with a moment of silence at 10:17. The gunman who carried out the Parkland massacre is serving a life sentence without the possibility of parole. A 13-year-old is facing charges after leading authorities on a high-speed chase through multiple counties, including Bladen County. Earlier today, Bladen County 911 received a call about a stolen vehicle in Elizabethtown. A sheriff's deputy spotted the vehicle outside Elizabethtown and went after it, leading to a chase on NC 53 all the way to I-95 in Cumberland County. The suspect then drove onto I-40, getting off at Rock Quarry Road in Wake County. Soon after, the suspect hit a utility pole, and Highway Patrol took the suspect into custody. Repair work on the Cape Fear Memorial Bridge has been going on for about 3 weeks now. The NCDOT held a press conference this morning to give an update on progress. According to the NCDOT, work on the metal grid deck began this week. The first several weeks of work involved preparing materials for that work. Along with the deck, the stringers or steel beams used to support the deck are being replaced. NCDOT resident engineer Joshua Pratt says the first few days of work will help determine the project's rate of completion.
It's very repetitive work, so we do expect the first bay to sort of be the slowest one as they're figuring out the process, and then as they move on, they'll kind of figure out what their actual rate of production is, and that may adjust what their schedule is.
The DOT says there are 12 bays of deck and stringers on the eastbound lanes that need to be replaced. Each bay is expected to take around 4 days to complete. The Cape Fear Public Transportation Authority offers a micro-transit service, and they're expanding that service come Monday. It comes as an effort to help mitigate driver frustration during renovations of the Cape Fear Memorial Bridge. The expansion will allow ride micro vehicles to travel farther into northern Brunswick County. Executive Director of Wave Transit Mark Hare says this expansion is a collaboration between local officials, Wave Transit, and the NCDOT.
Trying to reach out and provide commuters another option during this time period. Those that may want to use the service occasionally or may want to use it every day, that don't want to get in their car and deal with some of the detours and maybe some of the traffic associated with the bridge closure while that's ongoing.
Hare hopes the expansion will alleviate some of the traffic people are facing at this time. We have an update on a story we brought you earlier this week. After some unusual dust pollution in Wilmington's Sunset Park community, Enviva Biomass has operated a wood pellet manufacturing facility out of the Port of Wilmington since 2016. Many residents living in Sunset Park say sawdust pollution has gotten worse. The Department of Environmental Quality has released a statement identifying Basaga International at the port as a reoccurring source of off-site dust. The statement adds an isolated incident at pellets involving damage to a hatch door produced dust from this facility for a few days in early January. You can find the full statement on our website at wwaytv3.com. Celebration of life details have been announced for tennis trailblazer Lenny Simpson, who died last week at the age of 75. The event honoring Simpson's life will happen next Saturday, February 24th at 11 a.m. at Port City Community Church in Wilmington. More information can be found on our website at wwaytv3.com. Still ahead, Sports Director Jake Eichstead takes us to the first day of practice on the gridiron with the first ever Girls Flag Football League in New Hanover County high schools. And we'll introduce you to a Wilmington couple that has been together for more than 60 years. Find out their secret to a long-lasting marriage.
And we had beautiful weather today for Valentine's Day across southeastern North Carolina. Tomorrow's going to bring another nice one. Mostly sunny skies are ahead. We have 60s well inland to near 60 along the immediate coast, and winds will be fairly gentle out there. We'll look at Friday's weather and a peek of the weekend coming up.